What's going on, guys? It's OGR back with my man TSR for another episode of the Big Blue Breakdown. How's your week been, my man?
Sports-wise, it sucks, but my channel's doing well. So, all right, good.
Yeah, that's good. I know last week for you was painful, but Big Blue Jabroni in the house, Harrison Jolly in the house, Anyways, obviously the big news broke today.
The sports critic, by the way. Speaking of jabronis.
Oh, and New York Sports Hub in the house as well. Rob Manfers is great. Well, we might touch on that too, but obviously the big news breaking today.
No, your scroll bar is wrong. I'm not the sports critic.
Oh, what?
It says
I updated it. All right, we're gonna hide that.
Yeah, take that down. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna change it real quick.
What's up, Eagle UK?
All right, there we go.
Yeah, Nathan, we're obviously gonna talk about that immediately. He's talking about Giants have a chance in that Zeke.
All right, how's that work? Does that work better?
Yes.
All right. I apologize for that one. But anyways, Eagles UK, what's going on? But obviously the big news breaking: Dallas, Texas, coronavirus, NFL players. What does it mean? Take it away, TSR.
All right. Well, this is extremely bad news if you are a sports fan, if you're an NFL fan or sports. And the reason I'm saying this is, first, if you're an NFL fan, the Cowboys, I believe, are set to play the Steelers in 52 days in the Hall of Fame game. That is not that far away. And now you have players, including Ezekiel Elliott and numerous players on the testing positive. How the hell in 6 weeks are you going to get over 100 players on the field? I think the owner's already talking about pushing the season back. And on the other flip side, I mentioned if you're a fan of sports, we have major hotspots. The second wave is coming in for COVID-19. And some of those hotspots are California and Texas. Guys, the Clippers and the Lakers are in California. The Rockets, the Mavericks, and my Spurs are in Texas. I fully expect to see this affect the NBA. Maybe it gets pushed back. If one player tests positive, the NBA is probably done. So this is just bad all around. I see people making jokes about the Cowboys, and now that, don't do that. I hate the Cowboys, but I do not wish anything bad on any of those players on that team, and I hope everybody in the Texans and the Cowboys have a speedy and healthy recovery.
All right, just real quick shout out to Leaf D Suck, Nathan Pond, welcome. Nathan Poland, sorry. I called you Pond for some reason. My apologies. You are not a pond. But anyways, my thoughts on it is COVID-19 didn't go anywhere. I know, everybody's ears are probably ringing. Well, what do you mean, OGR? The fact of the matter is, unless you get herd immunization to a disease, you are not going to see anything get better. It didn't go anywhere. We were social distancing. That's why numbers began to drop. But now, between all the stuff that's going on and Memorial Day and the protests and whatnot, here you go. And now it's going to affect your sports. And it has. And it's unfortunate. And I hate to see this. But until we reach herd immunization, and that means either letting everybody get sick or getting a vaccine. That's the only two ways you get herd immunization. I hate to say it. I hate to, bring out all the scientific stuff, but it is what it is. I want sports just as bad as everybody else in the chat, just as bad as TSR, to take our mind off of things, because God knows we need it. Every day you're just lambasted with all this political talk, right, left, and center, and it just blows your mind, and you just want a little bit of a break, and you can't get it. And this COVID thing is a lot more serious than people are willing to give it. Even in China, where it's originated, Beijing, they're having cases, TSR.
It sucks because we as a country and the planet Earth collectively, we worked really hard, social distancing, quarantining. I saw friends for the first time this weekend and helped a buddy of mine move, and it was great to see people again. But really, we've just been working so hard, and I get why people are protesting Black Lives Matter, support. But we also have the flip side, all lives matter, and not the all lives matter argument against Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter in the fact that we still need to be quarantining or social distancing or wearing face masks. And during these protests and during Memorial Day weekend, and in just some states in general, people are out with nothing on their face, or they're wearing a face mask on just their mouth, not their nose. That's not protecting yourself. And we've taken another huge step backwards after taking 2 steps forwards. This is probably going to go on for the rest of the year. They're rushing an approval for a vaccine. And guys, I'm not trying to be negative, but this is a virus. There's not a cure. There's not going to be a cure. OGR said either you're going to build up an immunity to it, or at the very least, maybe it won't really affect you much. But until there's a vaccine, we're pretty much going to be where we are right now. And, the UFC's pulling it off. It's different having 2 people in octagon as opposed to 100 people on a field.
Absolutely. And even athletes, Baker's at a party. Ezekiel's working out with Dak Prescott in the midst of an actual COVID outbreak with Des Bryant. And it's like, guys, I understand you are athletes and you want to get back to some normalcy. But please stay safe, everybody. But anyways, enough with the negativity, I imagine. What's going on, Landon? Sports Expert 101, AV Sports. What's going on, guys? But obviously, let's get into some bold predictions, unless you really want to keep covering this COVID thing.
There's nothing else to say. I mean, everybody obviously in the chat, be safe. It's let's not lose focus. It sucks that it's going to affect sports, but number one is people staying safe and not getting sick and continue to lose their lives to it. That's always first and foremost. So hopefully somehow, 2020 is going to be a wash. Let's just call it what it is. But hopefully at some point at the end of this year, early next year, things are back to normal. And speaking of normal, how about our New York Giants? Or abnormal?
Yes. So what do you want?
Oh my God.
What?
There's a screen name in there. I don't know about that, OGR.
Oh, not much I can do about it unless I actually log into the other thing. But anyways,
wow.
Why don't you take it away with the bold predictions real quick?
I don't have any. I see the Giants are going to go 8-8. I guess that's a bold prediction.
No. Bold prediction doesn't mean that, simply it's something you believe. A bold prediction is basically, a pseudo hot take where it's something that is achievable. Like, let me give you an example. Bold prediction: Saquon Barkley going to have over 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns and get the MVP. What's going on, Hub? Kane's on, Butcher Block, Patriot Time. So,
all right. So
bold predictions that are achievable. Like the Giants going to the playoffs would be another bold prediction.
So achievable, but not likely. I guess that's where we're going with that.
Yes.
How about Daniel Jones throws for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns?
That would be one of them. There you go. Eddie.
What the? Oh, OGR's talking to his family.
Oh, yeah. My.
I did not plug. I am wireless right now, which I think is affecting things, OGR. So I'm going to go plug in my wire real quick.
All right. That sounds good. Kind of a lost train of thought here. My wife's trying to coax me with the cinnamon roll off stream, and it's making life incredibly hard to do right now. Not the greatest multitask here in the world, but all that being said, the reason why I want to talk about bold predictions is, because a lot of New York Giants have touched on it, and I watched the Hubs video today, and guys, go check that guy out because he's awesome, and he got me thinking: Giants Super Bowl. He didn't say Giants will win the Super Bowl, but he was going through possibilities for the Giants to win the Super Bowl. So that's kind of why I want to touch on the bold predictions. Hell, it doesn't even have to be about the Giants.
I'll throw Tom Brady throws for 40 touchdowns this year with his with a reemerging Gronk who will catch at least 10, plus Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
No.
You said be bold.
All right, be bold for our team.
Oh, you said I'm not going to say the Giants are going to the Super Bowl. I would love to see it happen.
Marcus Golden 76 sacks. That's it's assuming he signs with the Giants. I think he has to July 5th to do it, or
76 tackles, not 76 sacks.
I meant 76 tackles.
I was like, he's not getting 76 sacks. He doesn't have that in his career for one season.
Hey,
All right, here you go. Darius Slayton. 90 receptions, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns.
See, there you go. A little bit better.
I think we're like that too, by the way.
Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley will both be runners-up, or if not MVP. Not both of them at the same time.
Maybe like 12-4 if that happens.
Wait, we could be 8-8 and have a shitty defense.
Yeah, but they're not usually going to give possible MVPs.
And with 8-8, that's good enough to get in the playoffs. Giants make the playoffs with the 7th seed. There you go. There's another bold prediction.
Kyle Fackrell has a massive bounce back year and leads the team with 17 and a half sacks.
Excuse me, I'm going to spit my water out into that one. Oh, my God.
You want him bold. There you go. Boom, shakalaka.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't mean overboard. If you said 10 and a half, that's believable. At least he's achieved that in his career before.
17 and a half, man.
Hey, if Kyle Factor the fact roll gets 17 and a half sacks, I'm deleting my YouTube channel.
You will be crapping yourself if he has 16 going into the last game of the year.
Oh, you ever hear Tanya Harding, what she did to Nancy Kerrigan, or hired somebody to do to Nancy Kerrigan? That's going to be doing a Kyle Fackrell to stop my YouTube channel.
Fair enough.
Leaf D Suck says Xavier McKinney, defensive rookie of the year, or does he mean defensive player of the year? Both. We'll say both.
Yeah, because they would go hand in hand. Okay, I see what we're doing here.
Have you heard my bet?
I have.
Yes.
I don't know if the chat has.
Hey, not so much bold prediction. OGR by the end of the year is wearing a Xavier McKinney jersey. How about that one? How about that for a bold prediction right there? Let's go.
You would buy one of his jerseys?
No.
Oh. Oh.
No. Philly 500 is going to be buying me a jersey.
How about this one? I got to go in for you guys. He overcomes animosity from last season and a troubling possible suspension and jail time this year and leads the Giants with 8 interceptions, DeAndre Baker.
Wow. Here's another bold prediction right there. Jabril Peppers, Pro Bowl. Jabroni Peppers, as you like to call him.
Jabroni Peppers, he's I like to call him that. It sounds good.
Here's one from Sports Expert 101. Bold prediction. Jerry Jeudy gets his first team All-Pro in his rookie season. Here's another one. Bold prediction. O'Shane Ximenez with 12 and a half sacks.
I love that too. I know you would.
Here's another one from Harrison Jolly. Bold prediction. Saquon Barkley, 2K rushing yards.
I can see that happening if he has the right amount of carries, but I don't think they're going to want – and the Giants realistically aren't going to be a contender next season, and I don't want to see Garrett pull a what's the kid's name? DeMarco Murray on him and have him touch the ball 450 times. And no, he's going to get probably 300 carries tops, 2,000 yards. He would need to average well over 6 yards a carry. Not sure the offense is there yet, but I could see him running for 2,000 once in his career. I just don't think it's yet. Landon Collins.
Here we go. Another one from Harrison Jolly. How many Giants Pro Bowlers for us?
Realistic or bold on this? Not that the Pro Bowl means anything.
I'm going to go 4.
All right.
I'm going to say Bradbury, Jabroni Peppers, Xavier McKinney, and Saquon Barkley. I think they still snub Daniel Jones, even with a good season.
All right. Pro Bowlers: Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, Darius Slayton.
Man, you are
on. James Bradbury, 6.
All right. Here's one from Butcher Block and Patriots Talk. I wonder what this one's going to be about. Bobby. Also, I'll be on his channel 8 o'clock on Friday. Bold predictions. Stidham leads the Patriots to the playoffs with 11 wins. Bobby, I'm sorry. There is no drinking in my chat.
Real quick shout out to Bobby. Bobby did a poll on his channel. Great dude, by the way. Welcome back to to New England. I don't know if you left New England, but I know you visited your girlfriend. He did a poll on his channel. He said, "What do you guys think the Patriots' record is going to be? It's going to be like 11 or more wins, 10-6, 9-7, 8-8, 7-9. Nothing worse than 7-9." I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go less than 7-9. I think they're going to go 6-10.
Wow. Angel Gomez says, "Love the jersey, brother." Well, it's a great jersey. It's a great jersey. But you know what I like better than this jersey? TSR's hat.
That's 46.
Man. So, All right. So we've had fun with the bold predictions, chat, us included. Let's go into the not so bold predictions.
Okay.
Here's one.
Yeah.
To a lot of Giants fans, hurrah, Dave Gettleman is fired by the end of the year.
Ooh. If they have a losing record, I could see it happening. But if the draft picks hit, if Thomas has a good year, if McKinney has a good year, which I think we both expect him to, and if some of those free agents play very well, like your Bradbury, like a Blake Martinez, if the Giants are 8-8 or better, and I think that's very possible, I can't see him getting fired.
Oh, and Butcher Block has something for you.
I think those are middle fingers.
But when we're going not so bold, it's not something that's going to sit easy in your stomach. But it's not something we necessarily believe, because I think firing Dave Gettleman would be an atrocious. But I'm going not so bold prediction. So, it's something you really don't want to hear.
Oh, something you don't want to hear.
So you don't want to hear. It could be around the league. It could be the Giants, whatever.
I haven't done this before, obviously. Okay, so a not so bold prediction. Something we don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Danny Fumbles is in full force in year number 2 as he leads the NFL with 24 fumbles.
Whoa. Cool it. You have my heart racing. Jesus, you can't surprise me like that. What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know. Something you don't want to hear.
All right. I don't really want to say this one. Should I say this one?
Yeah.
All right. Bold prediction.
Not so bold.
Saquon Barkley goes down with another high ankle sprain.
You are going to look back at this video and hate life.
I am.
Not so bold prediction. Evan Ingram plays 16 games.
All right. I like that one. Okay.
It's not happening.
Not so bold prediction. Giants have massive trouble at left and right guard. The Redskins cut Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers comes back to the Giants. Not so bold prediction.
Oh. And an odd twist of fate, Eli Apple, wherever the hell he is, gets cuts too and comes back to the Giants. I think he's on the Panthers now.
Not so bold prediction. Landon Collins actually shuts his mouth. I like that one. I love that. Not so bold prediction.
Not so bold prediction. The Giants, in another odd twist of fate, trade a first and second round pick for next year to get OBJ back on the team.
All right, here's one. Deion Lewis, fantasy football, RB12.
Shouldn't be.
Not so bold prediction. Harrison Jolly, Slayton, sophomore slump.
Oh, Joe, we're not like that.
No, I would not.
You would not. Real quick, I actually did a video today that, just for Giants fans in the chat, if you're not aware, it appears that Jason Garrett's going to be borrowing a little of the 49ers playbook, which he's not alone in that. A lot of teams are going to do the copycat thing because when you see something that works, you're going to copy it. And the Giants can be using some 21 personnel, which essentially that's your old school football with 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs, a halfback and a fullback. You probably see a lot of I formation. Elijah Penny's going to be expected to do a lot from that formation. I don't know if he has it in him, but just figured I'd throw that at you that the Giants offense, I think they're going to be using Saquon more, which means Deion Lewis is probably going to have less opportunities, even though he's going to spell Barkley, I think, for third down. But I think Jason Garrett, say what you will about him, he's a smart guy. And I think he's going to do well as offensive coordinator, and he's going to look and see the talent he has and say, you know what, this is a 3-down back. I'll take him out when he looks at me and does this.
All right, not so bold prediction by Butcher's Block. Evan Ingram traded at the deadline to the New England Patriots for a third rounder. Thanks, Bobby. Not so bold prediction. Damian Estrada, the Bears fan. Bears specialist. Not so bold prediction. Giants tank for Trevor Lawrence.
I got one for you. What's our kicker's name? The guy that's jacked. His name.
Alex Rojas.
Rojas. I couldn't pull it. Rojas, in the craziest field goal kick ever, makes Bears forget about Cody Parkey as a chance to win a game. He doinks it off the left upright, hits the crossbar, hits the right upright, and misses.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, wrong one. Sports critic, what's going on, my man?
Amir, what's up, my man?
All right. Last but not least, not so bold prediction. We don't have an NFL season. COVID-19.
I could see it happen.
Yep.
I can see it happening. Especially, again, you're just coming to the video. California and Texas are hotbeds right now for this disease. There are many other states, too. Florida,
Arizona, too.
The whole, 25% of the western part of the United States. And you have a lot of teams over there, like the Cardinals, like the Seahawks, everybody in California, the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they're going to be in Las Vegas this year. It's bad. It's the season they're talking about pushing it back. We're in trouble.
All right. So do you want to open it up for Q&A, or do you have anything else you'd like to talk about?
Anything with the Giants? I saw something interesting. I didn't do a video on it, but I saw a news article that said the Giants, I think, are the fastest team in the NFL when you look at their speed at wide receiver, tight end, and at running back.
We in 11 personnel, the Giants are the fastest team.
11 personnel were the fastest team. I thought that was kind of cool to see, because I knew we had speed with Slayton and Barkley, but Tate is faster than I think a lot of people realize. And Shepard, I think Shepard's the slowest out of the three wide receivers, but Tate's
but he's still pretty fast. And then Evan Ingram kind of is the one that tops it all off, because he runs in the sub fours. He ran faster than Odell, I believe.
He's a fast. Yeah, I think he's slightly behind Saquon or slightly ahead of him speed wise. So I mean, it doesn't have the shiftiness or elusiveness, but I thought that was pretty cool. I just see a lot of people, again, underestimating the Giants, and I hope that sticks when the season starts. This team sucks. They're not going to beat the Steelers. They're going to go 5-11 again. Daniel Jones stinks, and they're just going to – with Daniel Jones, people keep looking at the turnovers, and that's a problem that's got to be corrected. Fumbling can be corrected. They're not looking at a kid that had 24 touchdowns in 12 games, had, I think, 2 or 3 games of 4 touchdowns or more. He made a lot of great throws in tight windows, and he was a rookie playing on – a team with a bad offensive line, a compromised running back, and wide receivers that were in and out of the lineup all year. So give him his full arsenal of weapons, a better offensive line. This kid's going to surprise you.
Arizona's had 4,500 cases in 2 days. Butcher Block Pitch Talk.
Wow.
Jordan Rian said if McKinney wasn't there, the Giants would have traded back and selected Zach Bond. How do you feel about that? If Xavier McKinney wasn't there, I would have been fine with it. We need a pass rusher. I mean, that's not really much to answer there.
Oh, AB Sports letting us know right there. Tate 4.42, Ingram 4. I mean, Evan Ingram, we've always thought wide receiver speed in a tight end body. I've said it numerous times. He reminds me of Vernon Davis. Not the physicality, but the ability to be bigger than cornerbacks, but faster than safeties and linebackers. Problem is he hasn't put it all together yet, and he hasn't stayed healthy, and he's not become that. I'd like to see him at least be 60 catches, 900 yards, and 10 touchdowns. I think that's attainable. That's not unreasonable with his abilities, but it has not come together at all.
What's going on, TD? What's going on? I have a huge crush on The Last Jedi. What's going on, sports influencer?
I have a huge crush. Wow. Okay. I have a huge crush on that Jedi.
Somebody in the chat, not to say sports influencer doesn't have it, but right guard Brandon Brooks out for the season with a torn Achilles.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's not so bold prediction or if that's true. If it is, that is bad news for the Eagles, because I've said it a lot. Eagles do not have depth, and that's what's going to hurt the Eagles. They have one of the best starting 22s in the NFC least. But
that's confirmed.
Yeah, that is confirmed. All right.
5 hours ago, out for the season. Wow, Philadelphia. Look, the Eagles, I don't wish anything bad on them, but they got absolutely beat up from the feet up with the injury bug last year, and now it's starting already.
I just wonder how it happened. Does anybody know how it happened? Because, if he was doing private workouts and it wasn't with anybody from the facility, he might not even get paid. That's a big no-no.
Ooh.
When you work out in your own, you're taking a chance.
Or was he playing basketball or tennis or another sport, which is also a big no-no? That can void your salary too. That's
Ken Zong, I do not actually know. This guy. I know this is a Giants channel, and I'm a Giants fan. But do you guys think that Dolphins could win the AFC East over the Bills and Patriots? I didn't think it's possible. I mean, the Dolphins, I think, are going to be improved. It just all matters how healthy Tua is and how well he can connect to that offense. Because the Dolphins should be improved. I think they can go, 1 or 2 games better than what they had last year, for sure.
I mean, people are discrediting the Jets, but they played it a lot better when Sam Darnold came back from mono and starting to put things together a little bit. The Bills have a great defense. Josh Allen is still trying to put things together. He's in his 3rd year now. I think the Bills probably win that division 10-6, maybe. The Miami will be in the mix. It's not going to be what it's been for the last decade, which were, and this is not, I'm not trolling you, Bobby. It's not going to be Patriots had the division locked up by week 8 or 9. It should be competitive, which is good.
No. You control Bobby on my channel. It's okay. But anyways, Bobby says it happened during team workouts, according to reports. So he's going to receive his money. That's good.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I don't wish injury on anybody. I really don't. I hate to see it. To me, I've always been a guy that I want to play another team at its best. Because when you play another team at its best, there's no excuse. Oh, well, this guy was injured or this guy was out or the head coach had the sniffles. No, we beat you at your best. And that's why I love when the Giants beat the Patriots. That's what it made those wins so much more satisfying. Even though in the second one, Gronk was a little banged up.
Yeah, but I mean, Pats fans could use that as an excuse, but I know the Patriots wouldn't use it. And we won because our front four had the ticket to get to Brady. They had our front four in both those Super Bowls was phenomenal, and that's the ticket to beating Tom Brady. When those teams are dominant, is if you can just rush 4 guys and keep 7 back and get to Brady with 4, and we did it twice.
Bobby has a question. Why does the injury bug always crush the Eagles? A lot of people think it's their training staff, to be totally honest with you. That they have a subpar training staff. They don't work with the players the greatest or whatnot. I don't seem to think that. I just think that the Eagles go out there trying to make some big splash free agency signings or just big signings in general, and they don't look at somebody's injury history, and they just go out and get anybody, even though I think Brandon Brooks was actually drafted by the Eagles. It just kind of lines up that way for the Eagles. They have some injury-prone players on that team, or guys that are banged up, I should say.
Alshon Jeffrey was, I believe, injury-prone with the Bears before they got him, and guess what he's been? Injury-prone. Deshaun Jackson's always been dinged up here and there.
Yep.
And guess what? He was dinged up all last year. So, I mean, if you get players that have been around the NFL for 3, 4, 5 or more years, and they're those type of players that miss 1, 2, 3, or maybe more games a year, you can't be shocked when they go down. And last year, they all went down. I mean, Zach Ertz and Carson Wentz carried that offense.
Yeah. Brooks' statement on Twitter. So I guess now the news is out. Yes, I tore my other Achilles, but when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I'll be back and better than ever. Appreciate the love.
Well, I hope he comes back. I mean, luckily for him, he's an old lineman, so that shouldn't affect him too much as opposed to a wide receiver or a running back who need that cutting ability, that, be able to take off and plant. So he should be all right.
No, I think that affects the offensive line a little bit more. You got to be able to push. You got to have that push. You got to be able to. That's got to be 100%. That's going to be strengthened up to par.
Yeah, but the odds of re-injuring, I think, at that position are less. So I think that's where his advantage is going to be.
Yeah. A lot of mock drafts have us taking Micah Parsons next year. Micah Parsons, for people who don't know, is middle linebacker for Penn State. Very good. Was highly touted out of high school. Led the team in sacks. Last year and I believe the year before. Year before, he led the team in sacks and he didn't even start. Or not sacks. Sorry, tackles. I apparently get those two mixed up. So yes, I am a big Micah Parsons fan. Micah Parsons. Hey, if we take Micah Parsons, sign me up.
Well, you're a Penn State fan, right? Aren't you a big Penn State fan?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. The Giants. Are there any Giants you think will make the Pro Bowl this year? Not that the Pro Bowl is a great thing, but still pretty honorable. In our not so bold predictions, we had 4. I could easily see 2 or 3 though, to be realistic.
I would say James Bradbury probably has a really good chance, and Saquon Barkley on offense. That's probably the two that right now. Barkley probably the biggest chance because it is a popularity contest too, and CMC's right there with them, Ezekiel Elliott, but it doesn't. Let's be honest, the Pro Bowl's a joke. It is the All-Star game. All of them are popularity contests. I mean, I've seen players make the All-Star game in the NBA who weren't even playing. Like they played 3 games and just got it off popularity. So I mean, it is what it is. I think Bobby had a good question in there too.
Yeah, Bobby did. Question for both of you: after Breeze and Brady retire, who are the next 5 QBs to run the league? Well, Mahomes is easily one of them.
Yeah.
I would say Russell Wilson is 2.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm gonna go Deshaun Watson 3.
Oh.
I'm gonna throw a homer pick in there, Daniel Jones, and I'm going to say Carson Wentz finds a way to stay healthy. I'm gonna go Carson Wentz.
So no love for last year's MVP?
I said Patrick Mahomes.
Wasn't Lamar Jackson MVP?
Yeah, well, honestly, for me, Lamar has to do it for an extended period of time. I love Lamar. He is a talented player. Don't get me wrong. It's just, to me,
wait a minute.
to bring that next thing to his game, he has to become more of a dynamic passer. He relies too much on the run for me. But, hey, he's not my cup of tea, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like that.
I mean, he doesn't have any wide receivers, so you could consider the weapons he doesn't have around him and to put up those numbers. If he has a bad season this year, then I'll say, okay, we're wrong about him. But you know what? After that first rookie season, most people said, he's only a runner. He can't throw. And they had a great year throwing and running. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And until he proves us that he's just a runner again, I'm going to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. Russell Wilson's on the wrong side of 32. Not 32, but 30 as well. But I'll give my 5. Breeze and Brady are gone. We got to put Pat Mahomes there. You just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jared Goff would have been on there if he hadn't tanked so much last year. So Jared Goff is out. I'm going to put Lamar Jackson on the list.
All right.
And put Baker Mayfield.
So you have Mahomes, Lamar.
I'm not going to go homer with Daniel Jones just as of yet. I mean, Russell Wilson's still at the top of his game. He's still got at least 5 more good years.
That's why I said that's why I threw Deshaun in there.
And Deshaun Watson is very young too, although he just lost his best weapon. I'm going to go Kyler Murray.
Okay, I'll take it. You take the other quarterback. You don't go the homer pick yet. I'm disappointed in you, but honest opinion.
I think the Giants' success is going to more be centered around our running back than our quarterback. I still think Daniel Jones is going to do very well, but you look at teams like Russell Wilson's been carrying that offense for many years. Mahomes has had good running backs, but it was Kareem Hunt, then whoever came in last year. He doesn't have a pure – and a lot of the guys we just mentioned have good running backs, but they don't have an elite running back like we have. So I think Barkley leads the team to wherever we go, and Jones will be right there behind him, but I think people are going to be eyes on Barkley first.
Yeah. What's going on, Big Blue Jabroni? I noticed you hopped in earlier. You're hopping back. That's cool. Any other questions? I'll let you guys know, but I'll just touch on this real quick because I haven't heard his take on it. What do you think's going on with baseball? Like, to me, I think this is disgusting. Honestly, absolutely disgusting. I can't stand what's going on. They are doomed to become hockey. I was thinking about recording a video, and in that video, I wanted to say you have football number 1, NBA number 2, nothing at number 3, NHL and baseball tied at 4.
I mean, this is a chance for soccer to overtake baseball. People joke, and somebody's talking on my channel today, like, soccer's been stuck and sucks. I'm like, you know what? I didn't like soccer until last year at the age of 42. I discovered it. I'm a big fan of it now. It's actually the most popular content on my channel. Go figure. And you know what? Never say never. The UFC, for those you don't know, was almost bankrupt in 2005, and then they had the Ultimate Fighter, and now it's massive. So you just never know. Baseball, ironically enough, OGR, real quick segue, they just released the late summer, whatever this thing was called, with McGuire and Sosa in their historical home run race back in 1998. That saved baseball. It saved baseball, because they had the strike in 94. Attendance was way down because of that. And the home run chase brought everybody into the mix. I remember watching McGuire's 61st and 62nd home run live on TV, number 69 and 70 as well. And it brought a lot of us into baseball again. Things are a little different now. It's 20 20 years
I'll
later.
tell you my biggest moment was with McGuire in that home run chase. I believe it was that year. He was going up against Randy Johnson, and everybody's, Randy Johnson throws a high heater. Boom. McGuire takes it. Screaming line drive. Exactly probably 6 to 8 feet off the ground. Right out through left field. Cranked out. It was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen in my life. That thing cranked out so fast. They had like the speed off the bat. It was ridiculous. Out of this world. That's when you knew he was juicing. Also, he put on a show. Did you watch the home run derby when it was at Fenway? That's one of the greatest home run derbies, period.
I probably did. If McGuire was in it and Griffey was in it, I probably watched
Griffey. Yeah. Griffey ended up winning it, but McGuire put on an absolute show. There's a couple balls, I swear, hit the highway. That's how they're still traveling now. It's ridiculous. But we got some questions rolling in here. He goes, who is your surprise team in 2020?
Okay.
Oh,
I never answered your other question.
Oh, what was the other question?
You asked me what I thought about baseball, and I was going.
No, I thought you were kind of you kind of touched on it a little bit there.
No, I was not. No.
Oh, all right. I'll let you finish.
Talking about how the strike in '94 almost killed baseball, and the attendance was down, and then the home run race in '90 kind of brought it back. And things are different now. We have many more viewing options. You didn't have Netflix or Hulu or YouTube in 1998. You had much less viewing options. And if baseball, with what looks like greed, either on the owners or the players, it's a bad look no matter what. If the season is canceled, I don't know how much they can rebound because people are already tired of 4-hour-plus games. I know I am. I'm a big Yankees fan, but those 4-hour games are killer. And with other things to look at, and with a season that's 162 games long, I don't know how many people are going to want to tune in next year if it's canceled this year.
Yeah, I hear you. It's crazy to me. I almost did a video on it, but I don't think it's really worth it right now. All right. So again, going to AV's question, who's your surprise team in 2020?
I feel like we get this every week.
Yeah, we do, but
I'm going to stick with my original answer, the Giants. I think they're going to go 8-8. And somebody had asked earlier, what do you think Joe Judge needs to get coach of the year? I think they would need something like 10-6, which would be a monster improvement from 4-12. I think they're going to surprise people and go 8-8. I looked at their schedule. I do feel 8 wins is possible.
All right. That's fine. That's fair. Here's a fun question. What do you guys think would take for Joe Judge to get coach of the year? Kind of answer that one.
I did.
So, yeah.
But you have not.
I just saw it, and I just I'll throw it up there as well.
But you have not answered it.
Dark horse COTY candidate. Mine is Mike Zimmer.
I don't have one.
Coach of the year candidate? You don't have one? It's a surprise team? I'm going to go Mike Vrabel.
Who's the coach of Tampa Bay?
Bruce Arians.
If they pull out a 12-4, 13-3, I could see him getting it.
All right, that's fair. And in the AFC, mine is Vic Fangio. Okay, so somebody's just answered. I thought it was a question. Did you Afghanistan, oh baby, yes, in the chat. Here you go. Everybody really wants Deion Lewis as an RB12 in fantasy. Where are you guys getting this? Just stop. He's not. At best, he's a RB3. Unless you guys are talking about RB2, meaning on the depth chart, then okay, yes, I can agree with you there. But as far as he's an RB3 in fantasy at best, and he's fringe. And you better be playing in a league that counts as reception as 1 point, because if you don't, he's not worth it. He's very, very no. OGR can go all about fantasy all day if you guys really want to. So
Saquon's an every down back. I don't expect Deion Lewis to get a lot of opportunities in New York, barring an injury, which let's hope that doesn't happen.
So what is the other big news this week? Oh, here we go. What do you think Wayne Gall's future is with the Giants?
Not looking good.
Not looking good at all.
There is a lot of big news. It's football, but not this football really, if you want me to touch on it real quick.
We'll answer this and then maybe a couple others, and then maybe we'll touch on it at the end.
Okay.
All right. So Wayne Gallman, future with the Giants, because this one kind of piggyback off the same thing. Because we have Javon Leake, because we have Wayne Gallman, there's just going to be competitions there, plus Deion Lewis. One of those guys is sitting. I don't think it's Javon Leake, even though he's undrafted free agent. Wayne Gallman better step up and show something in the preseason if we have a preseason. And that's worse for guys that don't have preseason because guess what? They still have to make their cuts.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the best signing of the offseason for the Cleveland Browns? Just a question for my team.
Gosh, I don't remember who they signed.
I don't even remember who they signed. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't pay attention to anything Cleveland Browns because personally, I hate them with a passion. Odell Baker, after shitting on my team, I'm sorry, I just don't pay attention to the team.
I don't remember them making a big splashy move. Nothing like that was really big newsworthy. So I don't remember anything really happening with Cleveland. So yeah, I got nothing on Cleveland. Sorry, sports expert. I don't remember anything really happening with the Browns in the offseason that was big. I could be wrong.
I would start a Snickers bar over Lewis. Pitcher's back and pitcher. I don't understand why he hates Deion Lewis so much. Just because he signed a big contract, pay your players. Pay your players and you wouldn't have this problem. The Conklin and Hooper signing.
Okay.
I don't understand why you needed Austin Hooper. Really, I don't. Like, you already had Njoku over there. Why do you need Hooper on top of it?
Depth?
I guess it would be Jack Conklin to replace what you lost on the line. So for me, it'd be Jack Conklin. That one's easy.
Probably. I agree.
Clowney soon? Yeah, well, you need somebody to replace Olivier Vernon.
I feel like we talk about this every 2 weeks too. Jadeveon Clowney, until he was looking for a reasonable contract amount, i.e. $15 million, not $20+ million, he's not going to be signed by anybody. He's
definitely lowered the number. I don't know what his last number is, but I believe he's in like the 17 range. I think he's dropped way below 20.
Still need to come down a little bit, I think.
Do you think Nate Solder's playing on the right will hurt the progression of Kevin Zeitler, or even though he's older, do you think Nate Solder playing on the right will help a young Will Hernandez? The faster you get continuity on the line, the faster you're going to be more comfortable because, quite frankly, I would love Thomas and Hernandez to get more continuity. I just don't see the Giants paying $13 million to a right tackle. I don't. Andrew Thomas is going to be over there, and Zeitler's a veteran. He's going to get continuity with no matter who's on the right side of him. So I'm not that big. I'm not too concerned about it. I see Thomas starting off in the right, and until something else proves me otherwise, I know a lot of Giants fans don't like that idea because Andrew Thomas is the future. Andrew Thomas, they don't like the fact that he could start at the right and then switch to the left. But I just believe, Andrew Thomas has time at both in college, so I'm not really worried about it. I think Thomas can do both. I think he's that good of a tackle.
And the cool thing is, if you think about our line, or maybe it's cool or just an observation, on our left side, you've got Thomas and Hernandez, who are both young and early in their NFL careers. And on the right side, you're going to have Zeitler and Solder, who are veterans. So I think it's kind of interesting how you have the line split like that. Will that be advantageous to the Giants? Time will tell. Hopefully it will be.
Guys, don't worry. If you hear stomping, that's just my son stomping the yard. Wait, wasn't confirmed on that. Thomas is starting on the left. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I haven't heard the Giants say anything about it.
No, I don't think that's been I don't think it's been confirmed yet. Touchdown.
Definitely not. So what was that thing you wanted to say before?
Okay, so you said talking about sports news. So this is way off subject, but I'm a fan of the United States women's national team, the soccer team. And they are the first, I believe, American sport coming back at the end of June with the tournament. And this is a chance for their sport to grow with people creating sports. And unfortunately, a lot of the biggest names, Kristen Press, who was my favorite player, Megan Rapinoe, who a lot of people know as well. She's a girl that dyes her hair purple or pink or whatever, depending on the day. And Alex Morgan, because she just had a baby, are not going to be playing in this tournament. And it's just imagine if I could, the NBA comes back in the summer, LeBron James is not playing. James Harden's not playing. People are not going to tune in as much because the biggest names aren't there. So when you have a chance to grow as a sport, it sucks that the biggest stars that they have are all saying, not right now. I get it. I respect it, but still, it's a bummer. Hijacking the stream.
Yeah, he is. He is. That's why I muted the mic. Why TSR was talking. He is hijacking the stream. But hey, you got to battle through it. You got to battle through it. I got to commend Bad Dog on that one. Sometimes his kids gets a little bit angry on stream. He's able to nip it in the butt, which is awesome. TD is actually his initials. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was touchdown.
There was one question I wanted to see. Oh, there we go. You think the Giants overpaid Bradbury and Martinez a little bit? Bradbury, no. Martinez is arguable, but if Martinez gets back to 2018 form, that's right where he should be.
Bradbury maybe a smidge on both, but you got to look at the Giants. Cornerback, our deep defense, secondary's been we've been getting lit up pretty bad. So when you have a need, I think it's okay to overpay a little. It's not like James Bradbury. We're getting a guy that's on the wrong side of 30. I always say this when we were together. He's gone against some of the best wide receivers in the NFL with Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, and Julio Jones. So I think it was a good move. Martinez, we have a ton of linebackers. I don't know what the Giants' plan is, and he's going to be inside linebacker next to Ryan Connolly. Hopefully, comes back. Nothing, no ill will from his injury. I don't know if we're going to rotate guys out left and right with all the backers on the roster, but I expect 100 tackles at him at a minimum.
I think we get this question almost every week, but I'll answer it for the hell of it. People want to know who's starting at center. Obviously, you have Gates, Lemieux, and the guy you meant, and Pulley. And a lot of people don't want Pulley. So, somebody actually asked me about Halapio the other night, but I don't believe he's with the team right now.
I'll check on that. I thought he was still on the team. I'll check if he's still on the depth chart.
But for me, I've kept saying Nick Gates all along. Nick Gates, underdog to me. He's going to add line depth regardless. And the guy's working hard at center. I know a lot of people want Lemieux, but I could see Lemieux being the guy that's going to take over for Zeitler in a couple of years. And that's why they got him in the 5th round, to be honest with you. I'm not saying Lemieux can't be center, though, but I see it being Nick Gates.
He's not on the roster. ESPN, as of today, and who knows if that's right or not, has Spencer Pulley at the starter, 2nd, Nick Gates, and 3rd, Shane Lemieux. So center very much up for grabs before the season starts. I think that's the only spot on the line that's not pretty much guaranteed. I think we all expect Thomas, Hernandez, insert person here at center, and then Zeitler and Solder. I fully expect that to be 4 out of the 5.
TD says, do you think we'll have a number 1 special teams? We brought Casey Keitner, brought in Nate Ebner, have Joe Judge, have Riley Dixon, and we have Aldrich Rojas, who was a solid 2 years ago. We were right up there. We were actually one of the best special team units last year. So, yeah, I expect this to be right there. I don't know if we're going to be number 1, but we'll definitely be top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with top 10. What's the KBO? Is that Korean baseball?
Yes.
No,
neither one of us have watched it. The only ones I've listened to it, and that's Bad Dog calling it. So if you want to count that as me watching it, then yes, I've watched the KBO.
I am not getting up at 5 in the morning to watch a sport I don't care about. No offense to the Korean Baseball League, but it's not happening.
Yeah, no, me, I just listen to Bad Dog since I'm already up at that time anyway, so might as well put on something to enjoy listening to on the way to work. There's one other thing I wanted to ask you. I stream KBO 6 days a week. Wow, that is dedication. Well, you know what? I'm going to ask you a question. What's your favorite KBO team?
How many teams are there? Is it 8?
I don't
16?
know. No clue. No.
I'm not knocking the sport, but I see people streaming NASCAR too, and I'm like, I've streamed the Indy 500 once, and there's really nothing to say because they literally are turning left. And I'm not knocking the sport, but unless there's an accident or a lead pass, and usually don't see the lead exchanges till the last 15, 20 laps, I had nothing to talk about. And I was lost. I'm like, they're just following the lead car, number 1, and he's just going around the track. Not much else to say. NC Dinos, our Sport Expert 101's favorite team.
Nice.
T, good question. Any of you guys hockey fans? If not, who would you be a fan of? TD, I was a hockey fan back in the early to mid 90s when I was playing NHL 95 for the Sega Genesis. and watching not usually the regular season, but watching the playoffs. And then they had the strike early in the 2000s, which kind of just took me out of it completely. I will still go to a local hockey game, which OGR certainly knows the hockey teams around here, the Wolfpack or the Thunderbirds up in Massachusetts. But aside from that, I watched the Stanley Cup last year, and it was fun seeing the underdog, the Blues, beat the Bruins. Otherwise, very little interest.
I was a hockey fan. The Whalers left Connecticut, and I never found another team. I tried to become a Detroit Red Wings fan, and I watched them win the Stanley Cup, but it just, my heart wasn't in it. But I did love Nicholas Lindstrom. Nicholas Lindstrom. Hell of a defender. One of the best ever play, in my personal opinion. But hey, what do I know?
The old Hartford Whalers.
Have you guys ever watched Last Chance U? No. What's going on? Hot Take Hockey. We talk about hockey, and here comes Hot Take Hockey.
Last Chance U? I've watched. What's Last Chance U?
The Last Chance U is players that kind of like washed out, but they have a chance with like another team. A coach brings them in. It's on Netflix, I think.
No, I don't have Netflix.
But there's some guys on there that have actually made the NFL. Like they've kind of like their high profile recruits kind of washed out in big name programs, and they get a second chance. This coach brings them in and tries to change them. And he's done it. There was one that was on the roster early preseason last year. Center, he was actually one of the people that everybody liked. Or no, sorry, not the center. He's either nose tackle or defense end or something like that for the Raiders last year. But he got an injury and he just wasn't showing the effort, and Gruden cut him. Just cut him right on the show. A lot of people didn't like that, but hey, the kid wasn't putting in the effort, and he was complaining. Like he wouldn't even show up to go get rehabilitation on the injury.
This all sounds like the Ultimate Fighter, like fighters that have had a chance in UFC and they get a second chance when they had the Ultimate Fighter, something like that. It's like, here's your one last chance to.
Yeah, that's cool. Why I call it Last Chance U. Absolutely. What do you think of the battle, Andrew Thomas or Chase Young? Andrew Thomas all the way. Chase Young, overrated. Let's go. Overrated. Overrated.
Now, he wouldn't be saying that, though, if the Giants drafted Chase Young if he was available at the fourth spot.
Overrated.
You would not be saying that.
Overrated.
Because I asked you during our live draft, and don't make me pull up a clip, you were very happy on Andrew Thomas. I said, well, Chase Young was available at 4. Would you have taken him? You're like, yep.
You know what? I don't know. I mean, Ohio State pass rushers are good. I mean, both the Broses are kick-ass, and
although those two have played each other, haven't they? Hasn't Young gone against Thomas, and Thomas got the better of him in college?
Yes.
So I would think that's going to hold true in the NFL.
Sports expert, guess what? You're an Ohio State fan? I'm a PSU fan. Let's go. We're kicking your ass this year. Finally. Last time we beat you was that blocked kick to beat you guys. You guys still are probably sorry about that.
BBJ says the first meeting Chase won and then the second meeting Thomas won. I mean, I could see that happening in the NFL. I could see Chase getting him one game and then Thomas gets him the next. I mean, what if Chase Young is, coming off the edge and Thomas is blocking well, but DJ holds onto the ball for 10 seconds and he gets a sack that way? Is that because Chase Young did something special or because the quarterback held onto the ball for too long? So, I mean, it's all, you got those coverage sacks too. I'm sure Chase is going to get him at least once. I mean, I think he's got the talent to get a sack against the Giants.
PFF says Chase Young was the best edge they've ever evaluated. PFF doesn't know what they're talking about because they didn't even put Saquon in their top 50. They put Derwin James there, who only started 5 games. Like, I'm sorry. When you come to my channel and spout off PFF, I'm sorry. Ken Zong, I love you, and I love your questions. You come up with good questions, but I'm sorry. PFF sucks. They literally suck. Ever since Chris Collinsworth was brought in, it's all about being entertainment and giving their opinion instead of going with the analytics. And that's all it is. Everything you get is opinionated. Even they change their analytics to match their opinions. At that point, it's no longer analytics. It's somebody's opinion. And PFF is more often than not wrong.
Do you know who the 2 running backs are that were in the top 50?
There was 3, I actually believe. Nick Chubb and Christian McCaffrey. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, 2. Nick Chubb over Saquon Barkley. Nick Chubb is a fine running back. I'm not taking him over Saquon Barkley.
And to take a good a page out of my friend Big Blue and Bias's book, even though I've rebutted him in the past. He says, and I love this kid when it comes to his analytics. He's very, very smart. He says, when you look at running and rushing the ball, because PFF likes to say, oh, well, he's a dynamic playmaker. Nick Chubb's a dynamic playmaker. Well, Saquon Barkley, with more of a sample size, with more carries, not even more carries, just more overall touches, gets more yards on average touching the ball than Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's running stats are better, but overall, Barkley's a better player. He gets 5.6 yards per touch, where Nick Chubb gets, I think, about 5.1, 5.0.
You know, to say Chubb yards per carry, Chubb is higher for his career than Saquon Barkley right now.
Yes, and I think a lot of that's to do with the ankle injury because they were tied in their rookie year.
Yeah, because Barkley's 5.0 his first year and then 4.6 last year. Chubb, I think, was 5.0 and 5.2, so he's slightly higher. But you know what? We can blame it on injury. I would take Barkley over Chubb. But if they want to say, it really doesn't matter because even PFF, you can look at stats, this, that, and the other. It's going to be an opinion. If I say Saquon Barkley is better than Ezekiel Elliott, most Giants fans are going to go, yeah. And Cowboys fans are going to think the opposite. And none of that's fact. The only thing we can say is fact is Pat Mahomes won the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So they were, you can't even say the best team in the NFL last year. The Giants were not the best team in the NFL when they won either their Super Bowls with Eli Manning. But they were the best team on the field that day, and that's all that matters.
Very true. TD says, do you think McKinney has a shot to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? Absolutely. I think he does. But he's going to have to start from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely think he could and should. New York Sports Hub says, Barkley over Chubb all day. PFF is more fantasy and Madden lover. Yeah, I agree with that. Non-Giants fans are super down on Saquon. I don't know why. Because they're non-Giants fans and they don't see the special, they don't see the special thing with Saquon. So.
I am a huge Barry Sanders fan, probably, at least for me, the best running back I've ever laid the two eyes on. And Saquon's the first running back that reminds me of Barry Sanders when I see him running. That's a compliment to Saquon Barkley, believe me.
Who has a better chance to make the team, Williamson or Crowder? That's interesting. You know what? I love PJ Fleck. I love Minnesota. I like what they're doing in Minnesota, so I'm going to go Williamson.
Oh, I don't have an answer to that one, but oddly enough, I think Nick Chubb is averaging more yards of reception and yards of carry possibly than Saquon. I would have to double check that, but I know it's during my internet looking at all these freaking ads at Pro Football Reference. And yeah, who cares? Barkley's better than Chubb.
Yeah.
That's an opinion.
What do you guys think of David Sills as a sleeper? David Sills was, was able to stay on the practice squad, and he certainly has a shot. And he's going to have a shot with Joe Judge. Joe Judge loves competition. That's very clear. And if you're going to go out there and you're going to put out the effort, he's going to give you your shot. And that's what I love about Joe Judge. Is Conley key to a good D? Yes. We need somebody else on the other side of Blake Martinez. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Jonathan Taylor's a bootleg Saquon. No, they're two different runners. Jonathan Taylor's one cut and go. Saquon Barkley is, not to say dance around. He can play almost. He has more styles. Where to me, Jonathan Taylor's just cut and go.
Gosh, I was thinking of Fred Taylor for a second. I was having
that was a one cut and go back too. There's nothing wrong with him. They're
good when he was healthy. He was really good.
I was actually my first fantasy championship I ever won. I got Rice and Maurice Jones-Drew on both of my team.
Ray
Rice, yep.
He had the two smallest, height-wise, running backs in the NFL at the time, I think.
Yeah, and they in their rookie seasons they both kicked butt. I think they were drafted the same year. I got to double check on that. But I know I ended up getting both.
Gosh, I don't remember. I know Maurice Jones-Drew was splitting time with Fred Taylor that year. I don't think Ray Rice did a lot in his first year. I think he was splitting time with touchdown vulture. I can't remember the guy's name. He blew his knee out and came back and played for the Ravens for years. I'm drawing a blank.
I don't think we'll be our base defense. a lot so Peppers will be playing LB with Martinez. Actually, I disagree, Kenzong. I disagree with that. I do think we're actually going to be in a base 3-4. I'm not saying you're going to see the packages where we, throw 3 safeties out there, but I think we're going to be in a base defense a lot more than people realize because I think that best suits our defense. Who do you think picks Trevor Lawrence? Whoever has the worst record next year. Christian McCaffrey's really good too. I won't blame someone for having taking him over Barkley. I wouldn't either. That's the one back that I would kind of put over Barkley right now because he actually, to me, has shown it. So
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
He's going to be called to do even more next year because I don't know, Carolina's offense, I don't know what they're doing.
Which team? I understand what you're saying. I'm going to say I don't know which team's going to be the worst team. New York Sports Hub. But hey, I'll throw a random guess out there. I'll say who's a quarterback needy team. I'll say the Bears. There you go.
I don't think they're worse in the NFL with their defense.
I'm not saying that because of Damian Estrada at all.
I don't think he's here. I don't think the Bears are worse. I mean, it's hard. Any team could be one major injury away from being a 10-6 team going into the season and then falling apart to 1-15. So to predict, I mean, it's fine to predict team records, but to try to predict the draft, I think it's a little harder.
Well, guys, we've been going for about an hour and a minute. I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been OGR, and I'll catch you on the next vid, and I'll let TSR close us out.
I'll close it out with what Asian do. What you gonna do when OGR and TSR run wild on you, brother?